All right, perfect. Okay, let's do some full-on analysis over here now. When the Asian session started yesterday, we looked at the support around 152.450. We talked about if we get a gap below this area, there's a high probability we're going to continue down to the support 152.240, and we did come down over here. Now here's the issue with pound yen, right? Right now, if we're looking at on the, let's take a look on the 4-hour time frame, right? So 4-hour time frame is obviously rejecting a support area which was formed, like, you know, on the 28th July, around 152.240. And if we're rejecting this area, there's a high probability this 4-hour candles are going to continue moving bullish, right? But here's an issue. The issue is at 152.600, right? So if we go down to the smaller time frames, this is what we can see right here. We have a minor resistance forming at 152.500, right? If we look briefly in the chart, seems like both gold and pound yen have low volumes at this time. So if we break above this resistance, we come into another zone which has a really high consolidation here. Like, you can look at this, right? If we break above 152.500, there's a bit of a rejection at 562, there's a bit of a rejection at 589, 640, 650. So I think a much better trade on pound yen is going to be above 152.700, right? So this is what I'm going to look for here today. Potential buys above 152.700. Make it a little bit smaller. Yeah, there we go. Because the only reason why, because if we break above this area, we have clean candles from the left hand side, right? So this was a move happened in New York session on the 30th July, Friday. Yeah, I think it was a Friday. So if we break above 152.700, there's a very high probability we're going to correct this whole move up, you know. And if you measure this range, it's a pretty nice range over here as well. It's like a 37, 38 pip range, right? At the same time, if you look for sells, let's drop down to the 30-minute time frame. Obviously, the sells are going to be below 152. I think what we were looking at was 200, 152, 200, 152, 250. And if you look to the left-hand side, it gets a little bit tricky because as price continues down, there are a bit of rejections right here. One at 226, then another at 167. So this range is a very, very choppy range. It's like a 10 pip range. So we'll need a lot of volume in the market to break price down, right? So I mean, if we do end up continuing down, I think it's going to be better to wait for 152, 170, 160, because then if you measure the range, you got a much bigger range, like a 34, 35 pip range. I mean, we could still come down to, like, you know, 152 even to like 151.950, but we'll have that discussion once we really do start breaking down. So far, it seems like coming up to pre-London in about 20 minutes, we're coming heavy at 152.500, so we'll have to see if we break above 700 or not. Let's take a look at gold over here. Gold is also ranging, right? No surprise. This week is special because we have ADP on Wednesday, we have NFP on Friday, and we have interest rates for the pound on Thursday, right? So we'll have to be very, very careful this week. Now, these are the zones I sent in the analysis in the groups. I think this was based on 30-minute time frame. Yeah, right here. This was based off of the 30-minute time frame. Let's bring this down here a little bit, right here. So this is what I was looking at. If we can break below, what's the support? 1809, or if we can break and close below 1810, 1809, very high probability to continue down to 1805. Because now when you look to the left-hand side, you have all these clean candles that went up after making the high. So there's going to be a high probability for price to continue down as well. But right now, gold is just ranging, right? Gold's just ranging at this point. Probably above 1812.50 looks good for buys as well on gold. That's pretty good right there, Theo, because to the left hand side we have clean candles going all the way up to 1816, right? So we just need some volume to come into the market. You can see price had a lot of volume during the Asian session, and now from then till now we've just been ranging. You know, same thing on gold, same thing on pound yen. I mean, We didn't have much big of a move on pound yen either way. So I guess, like, Asian session we ranged. When we're walking into pre-London, if pre-London has no volume, then probably the volume is going to come in with your London Open. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. Let's take a look at Forex Factory. Let's see here what's going on over here. Looks like we're coming down. Oh, all right. So we got CAD holiday. We got ISM news for the USD. They're looking at okay numbers. They're looking good numbers, not really good numbers. No news here. Euro, some news here around London Open. After London Open, walking into Tuesday. Tuesday pretty smooth as well. No major news. Nothing happening. Then walking in Wednesday, they're looking at bad numbers for ADP, but not as bad, right? ISM is going to play like a much bigger role when it comes to the movement of USD and gold. Thursday, we got interest rate for the pound. Will I be able to do interest rates on Thursday for pound? 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 p.m. Probably, yeah. Probably, we'll see. Friday, obviously, we got NFP, so let's see what happens. Now, historically speaking, NFP has been, I would say, like a tough week from the past as well. So it's better to maintain risk, like you're not trying to make any sudden moves here. I feel happy because my mentor are in the same city and I'm watching him live. Oh, nice. We're in the same city. What about divergence in H1 on gold? I don't look at divergence at all. I just don't know what that is. I just don't look at it. All I'm looking at is the 30-minute. I'm looking at the 15-minute. Okay, 15-minute looks better because the price action. Let me remove this big box over here. The price action on 15-minute is way better than on the 30-minute because now we can see clean candles, right? We can see candles came down. Asian session rejected 1809. All we need is a candle to kind of like close. I would say maybe something like this. If you can get a candle to close like this, then we can anticipate the next candles to really continue down towards, I'd say, 1805, with volume. So these big candles, you only get when there's volume in the market. Right now, there's no volume. That's why you see the size of the candles are pretty small. Just had my 18th Pfizer shot and can now predict price action. That's hilarious. The office coming out nicely. Yes, it's pretty empty. As you can see right here. It's pretty empty. Got one chair over here. Other than that, it's pretty empty. Let me show you the other side too. Yes, come out nice. Where's the Raja Bank sign? I threw it in garbage. We're gonna get a new one. We're gonna get a new one made. Go reversal to upside. Yeah, we'll see what happens. What's that website you viewed? This website? This is forexfactory.com. I'm surprised you don't know about that website. If you're trading and you don't know about forexfactory.com, son, I don't know what you're doing. Forexfactory.com, this is the website to go to for news. There are other websites as well, Daily FX, My FX Book, so Forex Factory. So that's what I'm looking at. I just look at Forex Factory, I look at the news, I see what's going on. These are where all the breaking news events come in. And yeah, US joins the UK and Israel in blaming Iran for a fatal drone strike. They really want to invade Iran. I don't know. I mean, let's see what happens. Are you looking for a buy or sell today? I have no idea. I'm looking for buys above 152.700. That's all what I know. Buys above 152.700. And maybe, okay, here's the thing, right? For a split second, I was looking at buys above 152.540. But then I measured this range, and this is like a 12 pip range, right? If my range is 12 pips, right? If my range is 12 pips, and you can see right here, and if my spread on pound yen is like, 1.6, why is it so constant? Yeah, 1.6, 1.5, then it makes no sense as well, because 12 or 11 minus 1 is like 10, so 10 pip range is not enough, so you need at least like a 20 pip range, 25 pip range, because if you can break above 152.700, here you have a much bigger range. Look at this, man. You got a fucking 40 pip range over here, so it's going to be much better. Let's take a look at GU. GU has same setups as GJ. Yes, that's absolutely true. Looking at GU, it's pretty simple. We got resistance at 1.39120. If we break above this area, it's very easy to say that, okay, we can continue up to 1.39380, right? Because we got clean candles. So now we just need to use our brains, and we need to ask ourselves that, okay, where will a better buy make sense? Where can we have a better buy? Would a better buy be above 152.700, or would a better buy would be above 152, 550? And the answer is going to be 700, because you got clean candles here. You got some dog shit candles with small range. It's not going to make sense. You mentioned you must read a book some months ago. Please advise on the name of it. I want to get a copy. All right, let me go get it. Since it's the first session today, so I'm going to be extra nice here today. Don't want people running off. So this is the book. The only book on Forex I've read. The only one book I've read on Forex. 10 Essentials of Forex Trading. Screenshot it. Just do it. I got this book in 2016. And the only chapter I've read from this book is on consolidation. This is the only book I've read. And the only chapter I've read is consolidation. Make your video bigger. I think make your screen bigger. Did you start your account on the leaderboard? If yes, how do we find it? Now here's the thing. I'm going to be on the leaderboard probably in like 2-3 days, but you'll have to find me on the leaderboard. I'm not going to give up my account. It's not going to be that easy. So you'll have to find me. We could not see your YouTube video on 27th July. It has been removed. Yes, it has been removed. There was some information I displayed there which I shouldn't have had displayed there. So that's why I removed it. But when it comes to leaderboard and all that stuff, we're creating a document, and that document is going to be on dominionmarkets.com, giving you step-by-step ways on how to work around the leaderboard. All right, I'm from the UK, so looking forward to be following the London session live now. Oh, nice, amazing. What's the strategy for the Forex market? It's simple, looking left. When you look left, you're going to see one of two things, right? The first thing you may see is a lot of candles jumbled together with a lot of wicks. So when you see that, that's not the right, that's not the correct area to place a trade in. Second is what you're going to see. You're going to see clean candles, just like this right over here. You got clean candles right here. So if you look for a buy above 152.700, you got clean candles. So this means price had easier way to come down. So if we break above 152.700 and come into this vicinity, it's going to have an easier way to go back up. All right, gold is breaking above 1812. So I think the better thing to do would be to wait. Yeah, I'm going to wait for this candle to close. 5-minute candle is about to close. 15-minute candle is about to close over here. I'm going to wait for the 15-minute candle to close to see what happens. Still got 12 minutes over here. So, here's the thing. It's the first session. It's the first session of the week. So there's no need to rush into a trade. There's absolutely no need to rush into a trade. If you can get a buy stop and a sell stop on NFP on Friday, man, you're gonna make a lot of money. So you gotta wait for that. Do you get a new mic? No, it's the same mic from Canada. Yeah. Deposit withdrawals commission on crypto transactions on Dominion markets is pretty high. No, they're actually not. It's 2.5%. It's charged by the exchange. Complete a deposit from fiat to crypto and Dominion, end up with 10%. Well, here's the thing. When you move your funds from your exchange, let's say Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, whatever that is, if you move your funds from there, they charge you a withdrawal fee, which is way higher than 2.5%. So you gotta look to see what their withdrawal fee is. There are a lot of simulation sessions in GJ, and I only realize how important is it to wait for the candles to close, otherwise 80% of the time. Yes, that's true. If we can see gold over here, right? Gold is a very, very high volatile pair, right? Metal, well, instrument, whatever you want to call it, right? So if it's breaking above this area, you need to wait for price to close above 1812.50, 1813, and then you're going to have substantiated evidence that, okay, now there's an opportunity for price to continue moving up to where you want it to go, let's say 1816, right? So, I mean, we don't know whether this candle is going to close above it or it's going to close below it, because in the past, price has broken support and closed within support, so you got to wait. Let's take a look at this chart over here. Our first chart coming up, waiting for break and close. Yes, that's it. Perfect. Simple analysis. Simple analysis, right? So it's always better to miss a trade than to lose a trade. The mic doesn't really sound good, to be honest. Well, that's okay. Where are you now, and are you living there? Yes. Yeah. Is there a reason you only trade GJ and not your USD and your JPY? Last time I see simulations of your JPY and not today anymore. Yeah, so the biggest reason why I'm not looking at your JPY anymore is because pound yen has much more volume than your JPY, you know, and I'm someone who looks for volume in the market, because if I can look for volume in the market, that means I can have a move end in like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, you know, and get the amount of pips I want to get. So your JPY, it has less volume than pound yen, so that's the reason why I don't do your JPY anymore. सर उर्दू में बात करें ताकि हमें भी समझ आए. उमर अफरीदी, आपको अंग्रेजी सीखनी पड़ेगी. अंग्रेजी के बगैर कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता. But we'll try. Why you trade standing up? Because it keeps me on my toes. That's why I trade standing up. You know, like when you sit down, I don't know, I feel like a slouch when I sit down. So when I'm up on my toes, you know, I can move around. Keeps me active, you know, keeps me awake. I'm here for the first time. Heard a lot about you. I hope good things. So this is what we're looking at on pound USD to break above this area. Let's take a look at this chart. This is GBP AUD, waiting for a break below for sell. We got clean candles over here, makes sense. Waiting for a break above this area for buys. Makes perfect sense. You got a 20 pip range, you got a 27 pip range. This makes perfect sense. All this is just distraction, consolidation. It's not even worth it at all, you know, all this right here. So it's pretty good. All right, let's take a look at US 30. Last I looked at US 30, oh yeah, US 30 is in a huge 4-hour range over here. Huge range on the 4-hour time frame. Look at these wicks. Yeah, huge range. Just opened an account with $5,000 and took my first profit of 15 pip by a strategy. Oh, mashallah, that's amazing. Very nice. Glad to have you back on YouTube. Thank you for all your information and knowledge. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. So as we can see, gold is 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour is going to close in 7 minutes. We absolutely don't know how it's going to close. We have no idea until it closes. So we gotta wait to see how it closes. If it has closed above resistance, would you put your stop loss below the 15 or 30? If it closes above resistance, let's say this area, gold, probably going to have my stop, I'd say below the 15. Yeah, I'd say below the 15 because 15-minute candle has no wick at the bottom. So it makes sense. I joined your program 2 weeks ago, first 2 weeks in a year. I'm in break even. Very excited for this journey to learn more. Oh, amazing. Amazing. Being at break even rather than in a loss is way better. Local deposits in Pakistan for market fluidity. Yes. You need to send an email right over here. Is day trading sustainable in the long run when most people lose in the markets? Yes. The only way people lose in the markets, now I get this question a lot of times, right? There are only two ways you're going to lose in the market. If you overtrade and you over risk. That's it. There's no other reason you're going to lose in the markets. Trust me on that, right? Even if you're taking one or two trades a day, you may lose one trade here, two trades there, and then you got to learn from that, right? Most people don't learn from the losing trades. When you lose a trade, you want to go back into the market. You want to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to fuck up the market now because the market, took my money. And once you do that, it's a losing situation at that point. You can't win. Because with that mindset, you can't fight the market, right? As soon as you start over trading, you're going to lose. As soon as you start over risking, you're going to lose 100%. Oh, Jibola donated $5. Thank you, man. Living in Pakistan, $5 goes a long way. I can probably buy a car with that. Thank you. Appreciate it. I've also made $19 in profit. Amazing. When will Magic Keys be shipped again? You can order Magic Keys. We're shipping out the pre-orders this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So first shipment is going to go out on Tuesday. So we're shipping out every day now, So if you order now, I think your orders are going to be shipped in a week. And then after that, they're going to be consistent shipping. I've learned a lot from your videos. Was down 15% on my account through watching your videos. Got my 15% and up 2.5%. Oh, beautiful. Bro, off the lights in the background. No, there's one switch, and that one switch turns up all the lights over here. Oh, you want to see something really cool? Let me show you. See the ceiling, right? Yeah, all dark now. We gotta turn up the lights though. All right. Please, Mr. Raja, my country does not support PayPal. Is there any means of paying for market fluidity? Crypto. Email them and they'll get back to you. All right, cousin has been doing Monty's paid streams. Maybe he's on that. Oh. Let's see here. You never updated us on the solar setup you're having? Yes, it's going to get installed today. So probably going to be on my stories too. Can you explain how you took the high time frame trades while you are working on your house, please? That's basically on the higher time frames, like the 4-hour time frames, right? So if you look on the 4-hour time frames, and if I look at this 4-hour right now, here's what we see, right? 4-hour time frame, they came down from 153, 120 in a bearish trend, came all the way down and made a low at 152, 270, right? We made a low. Next 4-hour candle, it closed bullish, which means now we've created a support after making a low at this point in a bearish trend. So if we're making a bearish trend, then maybe this retracement on the 4-hour is probably a move up to continue moving down to retest 152, 270, right? But there are always some conditions, right? And the first condition is that for the 4-hour to kind of like, come up to go down, it should not break above 152, 700, right? And the reason why is now when we go down to the smaller time frames, we can clearly see that I mean, okay, here's the thing, right? Visualize consolidation as barriers for price. Whenever price moves up, it looks left, there's like consolidation over here. It's going to look at this as a barrier, right? So think of the price as a cow. So if a cow breaks a barrier and it sees open fields and meadows, it's going to continue running at that point. So in the same way, if price breaks above 152,700, it sees clean candles here. So price is most likely to continue moving up above 152,700, right? And on the 4-hour time frame, that's going to look like, okay, well, we broke above this area, so now we have a chance to move up. But if smaller time frames, they start rejecting below 152,700, this means that the 4-hour is most likely to create a resistance and then to essentially continue moving down, right? So you got to make things really, really easy. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm waiting for price to come up to 152,700, break above to go up, or if we can create some sort of a strong resistance, and if that resistance forms in, let's say, pre-New York or New York Open, NYSE Open, then there's a high probability for the 4-hour candles to continue moving down to retest this low. Because what we do know, looking at price, is that whenever price is trending bullish or bearish, and it makes a high or a low respectively, there's a 80% probability those highs or those lows will be respected. That's basically what I'm looking at here today. So just gotta wait, and then we'll see what we can do. What lot size would you advise for a $1,000 account? 10 cents. See, look at this gold over here. Whoever bought up right over here, they're probably punching the air right now. They're punching the air. Fucking market. Come on, market. You know, all you gotta do is just wait, man. We're still ranging over here. We're moving into pre-London right now, which is a high volume session at this point. So, yeah, we'll see. Even if you look at this area now I mean, price can go down on pound yen, but you know, we got some rejections here, 9 pips away. We got more rejections, 18, 19 pips away. So it's better to wait for price to kind of like, you know, I would say break below 152, 270. Or even if we can get a strong bearish candle close on the 30-minute, we can then anticipate London Open volume to continue driving price down. And that could be where we can say, okay, now the 4-hour is coming down, so we're just waiting. You just gotta wait, man. Like, trading is all about waiting. The more you wait, the more you're gonna get paid. Just gotta wait. And while you wait, you may miss the trades. That's totally fine as well. I watched your GJ London Open simulation last night. London Open seems very volatile, and you said maybe it's best to wait 30 minutes. Yes. Yeah, London Open is very, very volatile. So now I just wait. I wait for about 30 minutes after London Open, 15 minutes after London Open. But the more you see it, the better intuitive you get with it. I need to understand, why don't you take the whole range from 152, 530 to 152, 900? Well, because we have resistance here, right? Tasher Muku, my brother, you can see resistance here, right? Right here. So the range becomes 152, 700 all the way up over there, you know, 900, 950, 153. Tell us about the month starting. There's nothing to say about month starting. Let's take a look at the month. The month is starting right over here. So we don't know whether this month is going to go up or is going to go down. I very, very rarely look at the month starting. I don't focus on that at all. All I focus on is how I can get a good move. How I can get a good move, you know, within a session. Just like right here on gold, you know, we're coming down to a rejection point at this point. So it's just gotta wait here as well. Man, gold is wild. One moment it tried breaking up, now it's trying to move down. What are you drinking? Protein shake. How often do you use the 5-minute or gold entries? When there's a lot of volume, right? Looking at the 5-minute on gold, it's much more better during NYSE and London overlap, like pre-NY, NY Open, NYSE. You know, those are the best times to look at gold on the 5-minute time frames. Let's see here. Master, I was using Magic Keys on-screen version last month onwards. It's a wonderful experience, giving more confident while trading. I don't know what the magic it is. Oh, nice, man. Very, very nice. I think next step from the digital version is the physical version. Trust me. It's just, I don't know, super amazing. I'm not sure how this whole project, this whole device invention came into being. It's just insane the way it's spreading now. This thing is spreading like a virus at this point. You always got to focus on a product that you know is going to spread like a virus, you know, and I mean that in a good way. And the good way, I mean, like, let's say you develop something that you know that whoever gets it, he's going to tell 10 friends about it, you know, and out of those 10 friends, 5 are going to buy it. Those 5 who buy it, they're going to tell their own 10 friends about it, you know. So that's how a virus spreads. You know, like the iPhone or that game, Flappy Bird. Not sure if you guys remember that game, Flappy Bird, but that game was, man, that game was super addictive. Flappy Bird. Some guys are too young to know about Flappy Bird. Can you show the candle colors you choose in MT5? Yes. These are the candle colors in MT5 right here. So they're the same as TradingView. I don't know how I can do this, but oh yeah, just screenshot it and just use these numbers. Screenshot it. 1, 2, 3. What leverage do you prefer the most? What I use is I use 100 to 1 on gold and 500 to 1 on pound yen. Sir, how do you screenshot? Fuck's sakes, man. Crazy. Yeah. I just can't, man, Gulag is crazy, insane. Alright, can you explain it, please? Why do you think that if no wick, no range to continue to go further the same direction? What if the candle has no wick? That means the buyer cells have strong, no retracement except continuation. Okay, so I'm just going to explain one thing over here, and the rest is explained in the market fluidity candlesticks thing. So when you have a bearish candle, or actually, let's say you have a bearish candle like this, right? And the trend is down. And the previous candles, like, you know, previous candles have wicks forming. Where's my candle? Previous candles have wicks like this, and you have candles with wicks like this, and this candle has a wick on the top and no wick at the bottom. So whenever you have a candle with no wick at the bottom, this means there's no range for the next candle to go down, right? When you have a candle that forms a wick, let's say this is the 1 hour time frame, on the 5-minute time frame, it's going to look something like price came down, it retraced, and then the new candle started, right? So on the smaller time frame, it's going to look like price came down to make a low, but on the higher time frame, it looked like a wick, and then if it made a low, then there's a high probability for the next candle to retest that low, which means the next candle is going to come down to retest that low on the 5-minute time frame, but on the higher time frame, it's just going to be candle coming down to fill this wick. Now, when you have a candle forming with no wick at the bottom, then there's no range. So what I've personally, on my experience, what I've seen is that whenever a candle closes with no wick at the bottom in a downtrend, I stay away from it. I just stay away from it, you know, because there's been a high probability that it has moved the other way, or there's been a 50-50 chance it has moved the other way. So I would maybe execute on something that has a higher chance than 50%, you know, which is a candle with a wick. Some of these people need to go back to their day jobs. That's absolutely true. How do you get to see buy icon in MT5? I'm not sure, man. Looks like the London session has opened the new doors of, I'm not even going to say it. So price is coming up now. We have to wait for 152.700. 152.700, and we can get a pretty nice move going up. That's what I'm waiting for here. Haven't watched you in a while. How's everything at new location? Everything is amazing. Everything is blessed. Thanks to God, everything is just super, super blessed at this point. So, taking it day by day, and yeah, so far we'll see how it goes. Gold, 15 minutes about to close in 6 minutes. Now here's the thing, right? If we're closing 15-minute candle, we're rejecting at 1809, right? And we know this is high volume time, pre-London, moving into London Open. We have to wait for price to break below this low. If we can break below this low, then there's a high probability for price to continue down. You must have missed all these questions from the gulag. Yeah, yeah, not gonna lie. When do you know when volume is about to kick in? You, it, it's it's hard to explain, right? Because we know there are certain times when there's going to be volume in the market. So I'm going to show you a website over here, dominionmarkets.com, and then we're going to go towards education, best times to trade, right? So these are the times. I'm going to paste the link in the gulag over here as well. So these are the times when there's volume in the market, right? You have Asian session, pre-Asian, you got Asian Open, you got pre-London, London Open, London close, you got pre-New York, New York Open, NYSE Open. These are the times when there's volume in the market, right? So whenever, let's say, we're trading pre-London, and in pre-London there's no volume in the market, then we know that, okay, the next time of volume is going to be at London Open. Right after London Open, the next time of volume is going to be at what's this, 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. and then you got 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. pre-New York, right? And so that's how you kind of like figure out when there's going to be volume in the market, if you should just wait or not. Because so far we do know is that there's no volume at this point right now. And what's this time? This is pre-London, right? Pre-London has no volume over here, so we're just waiting now. If this 15-minute candle has no wick and closes below 1809, I'd like to sell the break of the low. Yes, I think that's going to be a pretty good idea as well. But you would probably want the next candle to wick up first and then break the low to continue down. Can't see your chart clock anymore because of the Dominion Markets promo at the bottom. My chart clock? How about your clock? Don't you have a clock in your home? Come on, man. Let me see here. Oh. Gotta have a clock in front of you, brother. Do you have beef with Q? No, I don't have beef with anyone. It's like a slingshot. You pull it back and then you let it go. It shoots. Yes, that's what it is. It's like a slingshot. So waiting for price to kind of like sling up and then shoot down. Why no buys above the 1 hour high to fill the range until 650? Because there's no range. Look, there's no, it's like a 11 pip range. There's no range. Very less range. Hey, Raja, on pound yen, we have clear candles. How are those? There is consolidation. How do we know where price is most likely to go consolidation? Yeah, I think here's the thing, right? All this range is like a 37 pip range. So the beauty about securing profits is that even if price does move, you can secure profits at 12 pips, 15 pips, 20 pips, and then leave the runner running. Because if the runner can continue running beyond 152, 900, 950, and 153, then that runner is going to do the heavy lifting, moving on towards probably 153, 100, right? But you have to secure profits because as price comes above to 152, 950, 153, it comes into an area where it may reject, or it may reject to retrace and then continue to go up. So that's why you gotta keep securing profits. Do you still trade during NY session? No, not really. I'm really busy in the afternoon times. Hey Raja, are we buying GU? First of all, there's no we, Chris Blanco. There's just you and your chart and your discipline. That's it. Secondly, what's this price over here you mentioned? 1.39, 130. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, You'd have to see a candle close above this area, to be honest. Yeah, you'll have to see a candle close above this area, something like this, and then expect the next one to continue moving up, right? So you always got to visually understand what you're trying to see. Does Raja smoke weed? No, I don't do drugs. No drugs. Say no to drugs. How many pips do you need to have range you're willing to trade? I would say maybe at least 20 pips. I need at least 20 pip range. What do you think about other time frames like 2 hours and 3 hours? I've never looked at that. Can we use the markets from India without any problem? The only problem you're going to have in India is your president, man, Modi. So you got to go. Let's do this. Can you trade Forex? The first one is going to be in India, trust me. The first one. It's the most asked question. Can you trade Forex in India? I don't know what's going on with India over there, but you guys got to get this shit figured out. Forex is not entirely legal in India. You're only allowed to trade currency pairs that include rupee, INR. So you can only trade currencies with INR. How to trade Forex legally in India? To inform you, better Forex trading is legal in India only if you do it through registered Indian brokers. Yeah, they have high spreads, man. Can you trade Forex in, let's see here, Pakistan. Let's see what this says. Oh, it's completely legal to trade Forex as a resident of Pakistan. Oh, damn, Pakistan. Pakistan number one. All right. Completely legal. I know you trade GJ and gold. What makes you not trade GU since it's close correlated? Because my history of trading GU has been really bad. It's been really shit. So I don't. You made fun of India. No, I didn't. I just showed you facts. But I love India though. I don't. Some people over here, man. Yeah. I haven't really traded GU. My history has been bad, so I've just been focusing on pound, yen, and gold, and that's it. Can you use XNES broker in India? I have no idea. It's legal. It's illegal in Iraq, but nobody actually cares. That's true. That's the beauty about developing countries. Like a lot of things are, not allowed or they're in the gray area, but no one really cares. That was one of the reasons. I decided to move from Canada. Because Canada slowly becoming a police state. It's slowly becoming a police state. And what I mean by that is like you can get charged based on your tweet, on a Facebook comment, on some message you send somebody. It was just becoming a police state, and I was just like, man, this is just too much control. It's a developed country. You have a lot of facilities, but then those facilities, those pros, they come with cons too. There's so much control, and I felt controlled, even though I don't know, I just didn't feel comfortable, so I just decided to relocate. Same with the US, same with the UK. Like you're constantly being told what to do and what not to do. And I was like, man, like shit. I run my own business. I pay taxes. I don't want people telling me what to do and what not to do. And now I'm here in Pakistan, man. You can't even tell your servant to do and what not to do. The servant's gonna say, "Oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna leave. See ya." Any ideas why the leverage is less in Australia? Okay, here's the thing, right? When you have people who can't trade, right? When you have people who can't trade, and when they trade on high leverage accounts, and when they lose money, when the security authorities, what's it called? ASIC in Australia, when they get a lot of complaints regarding losses, regarding funds being lost due to high leverage, this and that, then regulation comes in, right? And regulation says, well, since clients have been losing a lot of money, we're going to regulate brokers in a certain country to not offer higher leverage, to offer like 30-to-1 leverage or 100-to-1 leverage so that people don't lose as much. So that's why the leverage is lower, because everything got regulated because of a few crybabies because they lost money. 1 to 30 leverage is too low. It depends what your risk is, right? If you're risking 1 to 2%, 1 to 30 to 1 leverage is still pretty awesome, right? Because all that means is that you're not going to be able to risk a lot. You're only going to be risking less because you're only focusing on 1 to 2%. All right, the previous 15-minute candle of gold broke below 1809 and closed back above support. Looking at the 30-minute time frame, this is about to close at this point in about 10-11 minutes. And I really don't want to sell at this point. I may want to look at sells below 1808, below these wicks here to the left hand side. And is that enough range? It's like a 23, 24 pip range. Looking at the higher time frame, I mean, yeah, if we can break below this area, 1808, I think we have a, yeah, I think we can break below 1805 and then continue further down towards 1802. Let's take a look on the daily over here. Yeah, daily is also gonna come down. So yeah, that looks like a pretty good target mission over there. Hey, don't know if you're aware of the situation that's happening in Cuba. China and Russia warning the US if they intervene in any kind of way. What are your thoughts? I think US just wants to take everything for themselves, and China and Russia are saying, hey, no, behave yourself. That's all what's going on. Can the stock market lose money and authorities? Not sure, because the stock market is going to affect a lot of other things too. Wouldn't allow you to enter at 10 pip max. Oh, I have no idea. You'll have to try it. I haven't tried it. Some brokers, they limit a certain stop loss, right? Like some brokers are going to say, well, your stops, they can't be 10 pips or lower, or they have to be at least 20 pips, 30 pips. That's what they're going to say. Some brokers, they won't let you open buy and sells at the same time. Some brokers, like let's say if you open 4 positions, they will make a condition that you can only close the position which you opened first, and then you can close the rest of the positions. So that type of a control comes with a lot of regulation, a lot of regulated brokers. When you walk into the unregulated space, and there are some very trustworthy unregulated brokers, then you don't have those conditions. You have higher leverage, you have freedom to trade however way you want. I'm new in doing the markets, but the time is different from my time, that of MT4. What time does it use? It goes off of the London close hour. All right, 9 minutes left for this 30-minute candle to close. We're still arranging. Pound yen still arranging. See, nothing happening. We've been here for about an hour now, and absolutely nothing happening at this point. China will overtake Pakistan just like Hong Kong. That's coming from someone in... No, it's not going to happen. Is Pepperstone a good broker? Yeah, I know people who trade there. It's pretty good. So yeah. Looking to the left hand side, this is support we have in gold. We have the next support right over here, kind of like a rejection point. I'm not sure why I have this one over here. I think this should be a little bit lower. A little bit lower, probably somewhere over here. Yeah, it should be lower right here. 8 minutes left. How much percentage of your account you making every month? Depends. Lately, I've been using not higher risk, but I've been getting bigger trades. So I've been risking like 1 to 2%, but like I'm getting 4% gain, 5% gain. So it's really compounding. Advice on how's OctaFX? Man, I'm not gonna say bad things about them, but OctaFX, they have really, really, really high spreads. They have really high spreads. I've seen their advertisements. The advertisements say lowest spread in the industry. They got really, really, really high spreads. Like pound yen was like 8 pip spreads, 12 pip spreads. Like, come on, man. That's a lot of spread, man. 10, 12 pip spread. All right, look at this. Pound yen is also breaking above this area. You have to wait for the 30-minute candle to close. You got 7 minutes left. I've got a buy area above 4-hour resistance. Let's take a look over here. IC market spreads is good. Yeah, IC markets have really, really good spreads. Easy buy is above 4-hour resistance, 152.750. I think you can bring this lower a little bit right here. right here. This will be much better. So above 152,700 would be a better idea for buys, you know. 750 is also good, safer as well, but you may lose out some pips over there. Is Uncle Ted on the leaderboard? I have no idea. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I know it's good to stick to one pair, but what about when the pair ranges for hours and days? How do you go about that? Yeah, it is what it is, right? If your pair ranges for, let's say, a day, then, or maybe 2 days is rare. 2 days happens when there is a huge event about to happen. I remember pound yen or pound USD ranged for 4 days before Brexit in June 2016. It just ranged, and we knew, okay, the reason it's ranging is because this big tornado is coming into the market, which was Brexit. And I was watching Brexit, man. Spreads went up to 80 pips. 80 pips spread. Can you imagine? 80 pips spread. So if it ranges, it ranges. You gotta stick to your one pair. 152.70 was the webinar buys for GG, I remember. Oh, yeah, so we're waiting at this point now. A lot of people are wrong about unregulated brokers. Your money is just not secured by bankruptcy and stuff. You can still make money on unregulated broker. That's true. And listen, at the end of the day, if someone wants to steal your money, they're going to steal your money, whether it's regulated or unregulated broker. I had money in it. I'm never going to forget this. The biggest financial hit I took was having my money in Quadriga FX. That was a crypto exchange in Canada, heavily regulated. The owner died. It took about in total, I think it took about $200 some million. $200 some million. That guy went to India, and from India they got a death certificate, and he essentially died. And I was like, what the hell? You get a death certificate from India, you're like, okay, it's perfect. No, man. Oh, yeah, gold is going to continue moving down at this point now. 1808 down to 1805. $1808 to 1805. Wanted to have my entry somewhere around 1808.20, 1808.30, but I guess that's not gonna happen anymore. Got around 20 pips over here as well. Got around 3-4 minutes left for the candle to close. Pound yen is not breaking. Not at all. Pound yen is doing nothing. On gold, is there any way to put stop loss? You can't have a stop on gold. I mean, you can, but it's going to be around like 1810. It's going to be around 1810, but at the same time, you're really going to have to manage risk at that point as well. If you have it till 1810, because if your stop is 1810, that's around 22 pips stop loss, and then you're basically managing risk as price goes into a drawdown. We got 2.5 minutes left for the candle to close. Did you get in the trade? I had a sell stop at 1808. It got slipped and it got activated at almost at 1807.80. Better wait for the liquidity grab for the next candle to gold? Yes. So it's going to close in about 2 minutes. And after that, we'll see if price is going to continue moving down at this time. What time are you going to be on for the charts till? I'm probably going to be here till like 45 more minutes. 15 minutes past London Open. Till 15 minutes past London Open. Do you trade indices? No. Haven't been on here since Kerwin days. Yeah. Which session is this? This is the Singapore session right now. We're interlocking with the Taiwan session and moving into the Islamabad session. Come on, man. Which session is this? Would you consider a close? All right. We're about to close over here. 15-minute. All right, let's take a look at this here now. Got a minute left. 1 minute left. One minute to win it. What we don't want to see is we don't want the next candles to break above these highs over here. This is a 5-minute time frame, and if we're anticipating volume to come in, we want it to respect this high at this point and then potentially continue moving bearish. I think that's going to be a pretty good outcome if it does happen on gold. Hey Raja, got fired from a job, no kids and got money left. I believe I'm disciplined enough. Should I give it to go and trade full time? No, I would say go get another job and just, yeah, just no. Don't put all your money in trading like that. That's the worst thing you can do to yourself. Trading is going to flip your beliefs upside down. That's true. Trading is going to flip your beliefs upside down really quick. All right. If this candle closes bearish on gold below support, would it be a sell as the next candle breaks below the low? Yes, absolutely. Because we are closing below. We did close below. So there's a high probability, if we look to the left-hand side now, there's a high probability on the 30-minute and on the 1-hour time frame for price to continue down towards, 1806. 1806, 1806.50, 1807, those areas are very, very likely to be reached. So if you look on a 5-minute time frame, it's kind of like the same idea. This candle should respect the high of the previous candle right here and continue on bearish. But if it breaks the high, then obviously, that's not going to be a move. Then we might get a further retracement to continue down. Take a look at pound yen. Pound yen is still arranging here. Nothing happening at pound yen, right? Absolutely nothing happening on pound yen. How much time to dedicate to trading per day? I would say probably 2 hours, 3 hours max. Yeah. 2-3 hours, I think that's still pretty good. If you can dedicate 2-3 hours to charts every day and really learn from the moves that are happening, I think you're going to go a long way. Yeah, you're going to go a long way after that. Are you in the gold trade? Yes. Yes. I am in the gold trade right here. So expecting this high to be held and then continue on moving down. And this is the only trade I'm taking here today, unless I can get a move on pound yen, and then that's going to be the second trade. If I can get a move above 152.700 on pound yen, or if I can get a move below 152, let's say 260, 265 below pound yen. Are you not worried about the level at 1807? No, I'm not worried about the level at 1807. Right here, right here. Because if we're moving with volume, we should be breaking below this area and coming down towards, 1806. That's why I'm not worried about that level. What time does the stream end? Probably in about 45 minutes. Why did you have a fallout with... What is this? The Maury show? This is not the Maury show. This is... Alright, been learning to trade since 2014, haven't hit consistency yet, still break even trader, long process, I've worked, built up my account to 60K, never blown an account, but hoping markets, oh nice man, amazing. You're almost halfway there. Like, you still have funds, you haven't blown anything like that, so I think it's still pretty good at this point. Where's your stop loss? My stop is above this 5-minute candle, and I'm also giving some room for the spread as well. So kind of like expecting price to continue bearish at this point. Let me just do scale fix over here. Okay, it's already scaled fixed. Make it lower. Yeah, expecting it to continue bearish. We've broken below 15-minute support. We've broken and closed below 15-minute actually. We've broken and closed below 30-minute actually. So I think with volume, there's a high probability for price to continue bearish. How would you manage risk? I wouldn't be able to manage risk. If it hits my stop, it hits my full stop. There's no way to manage risk in this trade. There we go. 5-minute candles are printing bearish, which is wonderful. So at this point, what I did is I brought my stop loss down a little bit. I brought my stop loss down just above the previous 5-minute candle, because if we're making lower lows, you can see this right here, right? This one broke below support, this one closed bearish, and this candle respected the high of the previous one, and now this new candle should respect the high of the previous 5-minute candle and continue boom boom. Continue bearish, right? So that's why I lowered my stop loss here as well. If pound yen is too volatile for a person to trade, what other pair do you recommend? I would say maybe the USD JPY. Yeah, USD JPY is going to be a pretty good one at that point. Do you have or done any hybrid swing trading? Sometimes. Swing trading webinars. So swing trading webinars, there's no such thing as a swing trading webinar, but there is such thing as understanding how candles are going to move the same way across all time frames, right? So that's something we're going to focus on 5th September when we're going to have the final frontier webinar, the Forex final frontier. All right, see now at this time, now we can manage risk. Well, I can manage risk. Now currently, if this candle comes up back to my entry point, I'm going to close 50%. If it comes back to my entry point, I'm going to close 50% because I'm in profits. The last thing I need is for price to go beyond my entry and go in a drawdown. That's something I don't need at this point, right? So if it comes back to my entry point, I'm going to close 50% using obviously magic keys, and then we're going to let the rest run. Also going to secure 90% at 10 pips and put stops at break even. Is pound yen, USD yen tradable on Asian and New York? Yes. If you're looking at pre-London to London, I think your JPY is also a good pair for a London session. What do you mainly look for when you trade? I look for volume and I look for trend. I just closed half at this point. Came back to my entry point, so closed half. If it breaks the high of the previous 5-minute candle, I'm going to close another half just to manage risk. Because the only thing you can do is manage risk. Man, this thing reversed pretty quick. Let's take a look at pound yen. Pound yen is still ranging over here. Close another half. and close full. Yeah, I closed everything right here on gold because you got to be very, very impatient. You got to be very impatient with losses. My close half button won't work. Well, I think that's good because if you're still there, I think now it has opportunity to continue on further down if it's stuck. Advice or method on compounding your account. Take it slow, take it day by day. Don't rush into it. Compounding doesn't happen overnight. Just like when you start a new business. You start a new business, it takes time. It takes 8 months, 9 months, 10 months. Obviously, like you want your business to succeed. You want to get a lot of clients. You want to get a lot of business. But at the same time, it's going to take time. A bunch of businesses fail because people give up. So let's take a look at this over here. So in total, I took 2 losses over here. This was the first sell stop that got slipped. This one got slipped. I was hoping it to be activated around 1808, 1808, 80, 90, but it got slipped. So I took a loss over there. This was the trade I took right here on the 5-minute time frame. So you can see how the risk was managed, right? It was a 20 lot sell with the $400 loss. That's like losing $40 on 2 lots. So managed risk. Managed risk is equally as important as winning a trade. If you can't manage risk, you're never gonna get out of the break-even stage, because at the end of the day, your winners are always going to be the same. Your winners will always be the same. The only thing that's going to be different is your losing trades. See here, wouldn't you miss profits when you impatient about losses? No, not really. Not really. Because most of the times I've had pretty good, I've had pretty good winning trades. Like if you look at the stats right here, let me see here. So yeah, if you can look at the stats right here, this is on gold. Have a 61% chance of winning on gold, 31% losses, and 1%, break even. So, oh yeah, I did pretty good so far on gold. 61% win rate on gold. I think pound yen is a little less. Pound yen is 53% wins and 35% losses. Still pretty good. Pretty good win rate. How would you give this trade a second chance? The only way I'm going to give this trade a second chance is if we can retrace on the 15-minute or the 30-minute time frame, create resistance, and then continue moving bearish. Why you close instead of leaving a small lot? Because I wasn't comfortable. I realized that this was equal to selling a low, and that's one thing you don't want to do, is to sell a low. So I'd rather miss this trade as it continues than to basically hold it. So you can see right here, right? This was like selling a low at this point. So that's why I was really, really impatient with this trade. So it's going to be better for price to retrace, create resistance, and then continue down. We also got London Open coming up over here as well. Okay, let's try to bring this table down. All right, let's see here. Was looking at sells, entry at 1811.25. Oh, nice. Beautiful. That's way better than mine. That's way better. Very nice. After price couldn't maintain above, could have had a small entry here for price to go down. Potential to fill these wicks. Very nice. I think this was based on the 15-minute and the 30-minute here. Do you trade with your own funds? Yes. Make a video on how to use magic keys. I think you can YouTube that and you can see a lot of information there. Pound yen is still ranging, man. Crazy. Craziness over here. All right. Pound yen is bearish, jump on. We'll have to wait for confirmations. On gold during the trade, the 5-minute candle didn't break the previous low. Could be a signal to close at least half positions. Let's see here. Let's see. No, not really. I closed half once it broke the high at this point. That's when I closed half because it became a volatile candle at that time. Right? Volatile candle is a candle which is going to break a low and it's going to break a high. So it broke the low and it also broke the high. So I was like, okay, you know what? It's volatile, so just closed half. Do you give out signals? What does it take to be a good trader? I don't give out signals. Good traders are disciplined traders. They only focus on 1 or 2 trades. Do you trade for a purpose of trading or do you trade to pay your bills or living choice? I trade in the start. I wanted to trade to pay bills, right? And also because I saw Wolf of Wall Street, that movie, so I wanted to trade. I was like, oh, that's amazing. And now I trade just because I enjoy it. Man, if I started to do signals, I wouldn't even be willing to trade. I would just buy homes left, right, and center. You're right, iPad Giant. Because selling signals, man, that's a lot of income. Selling signals, like guys who sell signals for about $100 a month, and they got 1,000 people. That's 100,000 a month coming in, no problems. You know, they got 2,000 people. That's 200,000 coming in. Crazy, crazy amounts. You know, so you gotta do the math. How many trades do you take a day? Probably 1 or 2 trades a day. That's it. Like since I moved over here, I've been taking like 1 trade every 2 days or maybe 1 trade a day. You know, but when I'm on the live streams, I'm taking, let's say, 2 trades a day, or sometimes, you know, like, yeah, just only 1 or 2 trades a day. Why don't you do signals? Because I don't know. It's just I wouldn't enjoy signals. I enjoy trading. I enjoy live streaming. I enjoy, like, you know, mentoring, education. I wouldn't enjoy trading. I mean, it's good money in signals, but I wouldn't enjoy it at all. You know, I mean, just look at this. Signal providers, they don't show you their MetaTraders. They don't show you all that. Nothing. Can you explain rejection wicks versus wick fills? How can you show a chart would be great. So a rejection wick is, let's see here. Let's see on gold. These are rejection wicks, right? So rejection wicks are going to be something where you can see a big candle coming down and you have a big bearish candle. After that, you have a small bearish candle, which means the bearish volume is decreasing at this point, right? So this is a rejection wick at this point. But if the next candle, this one closes bullish, then you're going to say that, okay, we had rejection candles, which is why the candle is closing bullish at this time. But if it closes strong bearish, then you can say that, okay, price still has bearish momentum, so these wicks become wick fills. And then you can anticipate price to continue down. Will you give your trade a second chance on gold? Probably if we can only retrace, create resistance, and then come down. That's when I'm going to give it a second chance. But for now, probably not. Man, pound yen is still ranging over here. Very, very tough range. I feel like your stream was much clearer than now. I mean, in terms of quality. Oh, you should know where your stop loss and get out is going to be before you enter trade. That's true. How would someone know when to hold the trade and drawdown? Trust their bias versus just cutting the trade before too much drawdown. That depends on how much risk you're willing to take, right? Let's say if you're looking for sells over here, let's say you entered based on a 15-minute time frame. And okay, so for example, let's say you entered right over here. This was your entry right here, right? Just imagine. And your stop loss is above this wick at this point. Now, if you can go in drawdown in this area, then that's fine. That's drawdown, because price has to move up and down for it to move in this way, right? You got to give price room to move. But in case if it breaks above this area and hits your stop loss, then obviously, like, you're going to get stopped out. So, and if you're trying to, like, maybe manage risk, then your stop loss has to be a little bit higher, let's say somewhere over here, so that you can manage risk as this candle breaks the high of the previous candle, and then you can say, okay, I'm going to close 50% or whatever you want to do at that point. I'm new in Dominion markets, but the time is different from my time. Yes, it's different because there are different liquidity providers. So that's why it's different. Let's see here. Yeah, I think it's a very consolidating day over here today. It's pretty boring, to be honest. When to wait for a candle to close and when to go for impulse. The best way to wait for a candle to close is somewhere right over here. It's probably going to close in like 9 minutes. Let's take a look on the 5-minute time frame. Was I too early for this trade? Yeah, I think it was too early for the trade. I think the thing that we can learn from this trade, which I closed out, was, price had a lot of volume, came down. Next, we had some consolidation. I think with London Open, we can continue this move down, which is very, very likely once we break below 1807.28. Is it true August is a slow month? It kind of is and it kind of not, because at the same time, August is a month where everyone's slowly coming back to work for September. It's like the institutions are coming back, banks are coming back in full force, hedge funds are coming back. So all those things, like, they start to move the market a lot, because when there are less players in the market, there's less volume, right? So when there's less volume due to less players being in the market, the only way market is being moved is by news events. Like now you have COVID, you have vaccines. Last year we still had COVID and vaccines. The year before that we had Brexit, we had Trump. Trump was moving the market a lot. When COVID came, it was Trump and Biden. When Biden came, you must have seen that the volume kind of like died at the same time, because he didn't have much of an impact on the market because he wouldn't say many things. I would say he wouldn't say the right things, to be honest. But it depends what's going on fundamentally, right? At this point, it's super, super dead. There's no volatility. The only volume we come are from maybe some sort of a Yellen announcements. We have interest rates for the pound now on Thursday, so we may see less volume moving into Tuesday as well. So we'll see. I noticed you were holding trades for many more pips on average last month. How would you determine when to hold your full position for longer? The only reason I was holding bigger trades was because I was already up for the week. So when you're up for the week and you know that you do have secured profits, then you're willing to let a position run. Then you're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to let a position run because I've already secured profits. So might as well just, like, put stop set, break even, and let them run. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This is price held support on VWAP. I'm not sure what that is. Found support on VWAP again. What's VWAP? I have no idea. I have no idea. Oh, gold is melting now. Broke below 1807. Higher probability now to continue much more bearish, but the candle is about to close in 6 minutes. The thing is, do you want to risk it? Do I want to risk it for price to continue down, or do I want to stay put and just wait for pound yen for later on? I'm probably going to wait for pound yen for later on. If I'm not in a trade at this point from, let's say, 1810, 1809, then there's no point in getting in a trade at this point right here. Since you're trading London session now, both pound and yen can move on their own instead of just pound and... Why will yen move in London session? It's not going to move in... I mean, Asian session is closed at this time. Would you use sell stops on gold? No, I wouldn't. I would not use sell stops on gold. I would just watch it play out, and that's about it. I'm going to wait for pound yen to come to my levels above 152.700 or below 152, let's say 250. Gold, I'm just going to spectate it. This one over here. Already gave gold 2 chances. It didn't work, so I'm just going to spectate it for the third one here. Is swap allowed on Islam if I let my trade run for more than a day? No, that's why you have swap free accounts. Alright, let's take a look over here. Waiting for a break below this area, 1806, 760, more room and chance to drop. Yes, that's true. But what's better going to be, a better thing going to be is for price to retrace, create some sort of a resistance, and then come down to break this area. That's going to be much better. Oh, wow, look at this gold. Damn, Daniel. Oof. Good thing I didn't re-enter right there. Would have been a straight drawdown at this point. How much was this? 15? Oh, 10. Almost 10 pips. What was the cause of the 50 pip gap on UJ Open? What? UJ had a 50 pip gap? Oh, wow. Crazy. Yeah, it did. It did have a 50 pip gap. It actually went to a support we had. Damn, that's a big gap. Let's see what happens. I think it was something to do with... Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh wow, look what they said over here. US debt ceiling suspension ends. Congress unclear on next step. The debt limit, the total amount that the federal government is authorized to borrow, was set at 22 trillion. It will adjust to the current level of debt, which has risen to 28 trillion. When the suspension ends, putting pressure on Congress to find a solution that will allow the government to keep borrowing. This is the day that the clock starts ticking. Holy damn, this is crazy. So they borrowed a lot of money, and now they're like, okay, we gotta ask the Congress to borrow more money. Can you... This is just fucked. And they're unsure what to do at this point. This is like giving money to a losing trader to trade. I mean, if you're losing and you're like, no man, no, we're gonna win, and you give them more money, and they just lose and lose and lose and lose and lose and lose. That's what the government is doing. Now people excited to see your loss. Oh, I mean, that's doesn't really make a difference. Alright, looks like GU is breaking up at this point. You got guys getting excited. London close is also about to... London Open is about to start in about 2 minutes. This is actually very exciting. Above 152.700, we can get a clean move moving up. Got 2 minutes left. When will you start classes in Pakistan? I'm planning on the first class in Pakistan to be at the end of August or the first week of September. And then we're planning on a boot camp in Turkey in October. Yes, so we'll see. Buy stop activated on GJ. Buy stop activated. Someone's buy stop got activated. Yeah, we gotta wait for price to break above 152.700. 152.700. How to join classes when they begin in Pakistan. The information is going to be released, so we'll see. All right, coming close. Coming close. What's your risk per trade? It's about 1%. 1%, 2%. You know, nothing major. Today, I used 0.4% of my total 2% risk for today. When will you appear on the Dominion Markets leaderboard? I'm probably going to be there in about 3-4 days, but I'm not going to announce it. You'll have to find my account, because if I'm going to do all the hard work, then I'm going to make it hard for you guys to find it. So you'll have to look at all the accounts to see which is going up or going down, and see, oh, is this Raja? Oh shit, this guy blew his account. Damn, that's not Raja. Oh wait, that was Raja. He blew his account. Are you in a trade? No. London Open is about to start, so I'm waiting for a break above 152.700. 152.700 is what I'm looking at on pound yen. Maybe 650 as well. We'll see. Look at gold. Gold is just ugly. Look at these 15-minute candles. Just yuck. Pound USD is also trying to kind of like break above this high to continue bullish. Pound USD. Pound yen also trying to do the same thing. Let's take a look at the Chinese indicator and see what they're saying. Chinese indicator is saying, oh, they're saying pound is strong, yen is weak. So that means pound yen should continue moving bullish. So they're also saying pound is strong and USD is weak. So pound USD should also break above this high at 1.39180 and continue bullish. Interesting matters. Are you in a trade? No, right now. No. I'm not in any trade. Oh, pound USD has broken the high. Here's a good question. Sir, would you explain what 1% risk means, please? So a 1% risk means that you're risking 1% of your account. That's the most easiest way I can explain it. Are you in a trade? No. Gold behaving like a toxic X? That's true. Kind of annoying because usually daily is more inclined towards sells. That's true as well. But waiting for these smaller time frame zones to break for pound yen to continue bullish. GU has also broken the high over here. What's a decent win rate? Something that you can withdraw money consistently. I'm a big fan of withdrawing, let's say every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or at least every month, or at least withdrawing enough that you can pay 1 or 2 bills. All right, GU is going off at this point. We broke the high. There's a high probability for pound USD to continue bullish. Pound yen as well. We broke the high, so we're expecting volume to continue driving price through 152.700 and potentially continue it moving till at least 152, 800, 850, somewhere around that. I did execute a position right here as we were breaking above this area. Stops are below this current 30-minute candle and anticipating it to continue bullish at this point at London Open. Do you take range of the daily candle into consideration? No, I don't take range of daily candle into consideration. Wow, GU is just galloping over here like a horse. Safe Haven's also showing weakness. That's true. Let's take a look at gold. Gold is trying to do a retest at this point. This is a support gold broke, 1809. It's time to do a retest for price to continue bearish. As we clear 152.700 on pound yen, the ball is going to be in favor of price to continue moving bullish. We can move up to at least 152.850, 800, 152.900 extended targets. London Open on Monday, it's full of spikes and fake moves. That's true. Whenever you're trading high volume sessions, they're always filled with higher volatility. So whenever you have higher volatility, you need to understand how to manage risk. Oh, nice one. Look at that. We're up 5 pips at this point. Now, just like I had a trade on gold, if price comes back to my entry point, I'm closing 50% at that point. Because, you got to manage risk. Invest in pips got round. Oh, nice. 10 pips. Beautiful. Hey Raj, I appreciate you. What's the most informative piece of financial information you ever came across that made you realize if I stick with it, I'll be rich? The most important financial advice I came across was to never ask people for money. Never ask people for money. That's the biggest financial advice I got from somebody. Why no music in the background? There is music, but I think the volume is pretty low. Do you mind explaining wick fill, for instance, in the GU 15-minute chart? Was this a wick fill? No, it was a break above this wick. Yeah, this was a wick fill because, price came above this area and then now slowly it's coming above. Oh, wow, look at that. We're up 8 pips at this point on pound yen. Oh, 9 pips. Beautiful. We're coming above to 152.750. We got 800 at this point. I think we can reach 800. We've broken above these wicks over here as well to the left hand side. What's the biggest stop loss you would allow yourself to enter? My biggest stop is probably going to be around 20 pips, 22 pips, somewhere around there. 20, 22 pips. Can't wait for Magic Key's delivery. Yes. Where to find leaderboard on Dominion Markets? I think it's in the PAM section. Why did you not wait for close on GJ? Because the volume was coming in with London Open, which is the reason why I did not want it to wait for candle to close. Hire me to be in the kitchen #2 for a cook. Me and grilled sandwiches. Probably. Send in the application. We're gonna set up an interview. Let's see here. So this is, thank you for your time. Thank you. Can't wait for you to be on the leaderboard. Hey man, listen, like the trades I'm going to take on the leaderboard are going to be the same trades I take here in the live stream. So it's it's just the same thing. It's the same exact thing. The same trades, same ideas. Why did you change the playlist in the background? Here the noise from John Dolly gave me a special vibe to the live stream. Yeah, I was trying to find those old songs, but I couldn't find them. And the live stream was supposed to begin in about 5 minutes. So I just like quickly randomly downloaded songs and I'm like, all right, this is gonna go for today. But I'm gonna find the old songs and then we're gonna play them. Wow, look at this GU running very, very nicely over here. Looks like the Chinese indicator was correct today. And also technically everything was in the favor of price moving bullish. What's the leaderboard? Can you explain? How do you rejoin? Explained it a lot of times. Pound CAD, there is a good chance that the 1 hour time frame you should take a look. I think you should send a chart. If you send a chart, we're going to take a look at it and then probably going to give you some advices on it as well. So this is my entry on pound yen, somewhere right over here. It was below where I expected to take my entry, but then I knew, like, you know, with volume coming in, with pound USD moving bullish, with the Chinese indicator being in our favor, there was a higher probability for it to continue moving up. So what we're looking at is if we have 152.800 here in the books. Ooh, 750 reach. So you can see right here, 10 pips reached over here. Close 90%, put stop loss at entry point, and now we're going to leave the rest running. Going to leave the rest running. So as you can see right here, right, took one losing trade, took second losing trade, and now we have a winning trade, right, and overall in profits here for the day, because managed risk in the second trade. You got to manage risk. You got to manage risk. What's the website for the Chinese indicator? You guys can't be serious, man. This is the website for Chinese indicator. I know this is going to be hard to believe, but I closed early. Amazing. Well done. Would you take 2 trades at the same time in different pairs? It depends. I mean, if you're talking about GU and GJ, then yeah, sure. Because here's the thing. I haven't looked at GU and GJ at the same time in New York session, but looking at London session and understanding that in the London session, pound yen and pound dollar is being moved by only pound, it makes sense, right? Because pound dollar and pound yen, they moved the same way. So are you able to manage risk once price has moved into your direction? What if price moves against you right from entry? If price moves against me right from entry, then you can manage risk as well, right? You can close 50%, you can close certain percentage and leave the rest running. If I decide to follow an account on leaderboard, what lot sizes will my account take? It's going to take the same lot size they take. I mean, its risk is basically the same. Did mention how to cash this from a 1 hour perspective. I'm at work and I had a call to take. Oh, yeah, we basically mentioned it. Mentioned everything, how this trade was taken. Took it before 152.700. Took it at once we broke the high. Once we broke the high, that's when I took this trade. What parameters would you look at to say I'm consistent and should deposit more money in the trade? I would say open a small account, right? I actually closed my entire position here because I secured most of it and had 2 losses before. So once you're trading, and let's say you have you have a smaller account, right? And from the smaller account, you're getting consistent wins. What you got to do is that see for how long are you getting wins from that account. Let's say you're getting wins for about 4 days or maybe a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Once you get up to a month and a half of consistent wins, then you can add more money to that account and say, hey, like, you know what, I've been profitable, so now I'm going to add more money to the account. Still valid to enter GJ. Yeah, I think it's a little bit late, or I think you would want to wait for this candle to close. You would want to wait for this candle to close. And the way how I mean, you could tell it's too late to enter pound yen because you see big candles, right? Whenever you see big candles, automatically it's too late, because your job as a trader to be in that big candle. So we were in this big candle. Invest in yen bought somewhere down over here, so he was way deep in that candle. Right now we broke this area. Now if it continues pushing bullish, it continues pushing bullish. If you had to take a buy now on GJ, would you enter on break of the high next 15 minutes? Would you wait for support to form? I would wait for some sort of a support to form. I remember when I used to copy every trade Raja took because FOMO kicked in. Now I just sit back, learn, and only take the trades I understand. That's amazing, Vivek. That's amazing, amazing, amazing. Very nice. Looks like gold is just jumping up and down, man. Crazy. Good thing I didn't give my third chance on gold. Please explain how would you take the another trade I'm going to take on gold, no, on pound yen, if I missed this trade, would be a retracement down to 152.660. Then I would take a trade on pound yen. Thank you, Raja Banks, for the trade. Alhamdulillah, in past 2 weeks, I'm up 55%. Oh, wow. 55%. Those are crazy returns. Yeah, those are pretty sick returns. Are you done for the day? Yes. Will you teach your son how to trade? Yeah, but I think he's more interested in technical things. Whenever we have service people come around the house, he always opens up their tool bags. He takes out their measuring tapes, screwdrivers, pliers. He starts picking things on with the screwdriver, and we buy him cars. He opens up his cars, he breaks them, and he just looks at the cars from the inside. And I think his mind is more like, towards those things. Oh wow, man, gold is making people punch the air at this point. Damn, comes down, retrace, comes up, retrace. If he's interested in technical stuff, teach him technical analysis. We'll see. Dear Raja, can you explain the levels you mark on gold chart? Dear Randeep, thank you for writing to me. And I will now explain to you all the technicals we had on gold. So looking to the left-hand side, essentially this is the support we were expecting gold to come down to, but I believe gold is having a hard time deciding whether it wants to do a retrace or whether it wants to do a dance over here before it comes down. It is what it is. So at this point, the only thing that's looking good is pound yen. We broke this down. We got clean candles through the left-hand side. And at the same time, if you look at pound USD had almost had the same idea, where we had clean candles for the left-hand side and we had price breaking above this resistance. So I think all in all, pound yen and pound USD moved just as we expected. Surprisingly, man, we have 2,000 people here on the London streams today. Damn, crazy. You guys followed us here from the New York sessions to London streams. Where can I see spread in MT5? Press F10. Press F10 and you're going to see the spread. How to build a strategy from the ground up. There's no such thing how to build a strategy. You you have to backtest things, right? So if we're looking at this move here moving, you have to look to see that, okay, how could you have been in this trade? And try to explain to yourself. Try to explain to yourself, how could you have been a part of this trade? Where could you have entered in this trade? Right? And then write it down, explain to yourself, because this thing is going to happen over and over again. Same thing goes for pound USD over here, right? How could you have been a part of this trade? Same thing goes for gold. If gold moves down and I've had 2 losses on gold, if it moves down, I'm going to look at that and I'm going to ask myself that, okay, how could I have given this trade, let's say, a 3rd chance or a 4th chance, or how I could have been in this trade, and then I'm going to get my answer from that. So that's the best way to look at charts. And developing strategies, there's no such thing as a strategy. It's such thing as, I mean, I'm going to say it again. How could you have been a part of a certain move, a certain trade, or whatever that is, So, I mean, that's how I look at things all the time. Because things will happen over and over and over again. And the biggest reason why the market's going to repeat itself over and over again is because the same people, they lose the same way over and over and over again. Because, biggest reason guys lose, if they sell a high. They sell a high, higher chances you're going to lose. They buy a low on high volatile pairs, higher chance you're going to lose. You remove your stop losses, you extend your stop losses, you're going to lose all the time. Not even losing all the time, you're going to lose more than you expected to lose. Like when price moves against you, you want to enter more positions. If you're in sells, you're in drawdown, you take buys at the same time. You're like, oh yeah, I'm going to hedge this shit. No, man, market's going to hedge your account against you. That's all what's going to happen. So when people lose the same way all the time, market repeats the patterns all the time. How come you planned potential buys above 152.700 but then took the trade when it broke the high, when you see the 1-hour resistance? That's a very valid question. When I see the 30-minute time frame, we were breaking above this high and we were coming into London Open. And as much as I've seen, London Open has a lot of volume. So I started to ask myself a question, right? I started to ask myself that, okay, what's the probability that London Open will break through this area to continue up, even though it couldn't break below, and even though the 4-hour had a rejection down over here? I really started to ask myself that question, and the answer was, well, there's a higher probability it's going to break through this area in a higher volume time, which is London Open. And that's when I took this trade, had my stops below this candle, and it went where it went, and also the Chinese indicators said that pound USD and pound yen are going to go up, and GU was also moving up. So I think it was mostly based on experience and intuition. Do you know Rock CFX? No, I don't know Rock CFX. Any tips on getting a higher win rate? My risk management is great, but win rate is 40%. Just look to see how you could have entered a trade, how you could have gotten that winning trade. But this is awesome, man. Like, I mean, if it moves up, perfect. Moves to 152.900, 153, amazing move. But if it comes down to do a retest and forms a minor support on 15-minute, 30-minute time frame, I may look to re-enter and then continue moving further up. So I'm going to go now. I'm going to make a mango milkshake with 2 or 3 white eggs in it. And oh man, so cold. All right, perfect. Okay, let's see. Let's wait for this candle to close. Looks like we're going to tap into 152.800 over here. We're coming up 152.800. We had 788 at this point. 789. 800 is tapped here on the brokerage over here. The spread is tapped into 152.800. Got to see trading view. Oh, not over here. Is there volume on pre-London? Yes, sometimes there's volume at pre-London. That's true. That's why I start the streams at pre-London and then we move into London Open. Best time frame to enter a trade? All the time frames. All the time frames are best to enter the trade. Oh, there we go. I think gold is breaking out late here at this point, coming down towards 1805. Oh, looks like something's happening. Oh, nice. We tapped into 1806 over here. 1815, 1806. Beautiful. This was actually the target that we were anticipating for price to come up to. Amazing. For people who closed full positions when price retraced, you gotta trust your analysis a little bit, man. Oh, damn. 18, oof, crazy. 1852, almost 850. Great move here today. Gold was a heartbreaker, but pound USD and pound yen, man, it worked out to be perfect. If you guys are beginners, try to avoid gold. Gold is highly volatile. Without experience, you will get burnt. Yes, that's true. That's absolutely true. All right, what was I trying to do over here? I was trying to bring up something for the gulag. Broke highs, no lows broken, wish it did all the time. Yeah, I know. And I think the biggest reason why it did this was because, like, you know, pound yen is a very high volatile pair. And since we had clean range to the left hand side, this was bound to happen. You know, now next move is 152.900, and then we're on our way to 153 at this point. Couldn't have asked for a much better move here today. Testing some things here in the gulag over here. Does anyone else see it? The screen go black? Yes. GJ is being very active, very nice. Yeah, absolutely love it. Okay, everybody, I'm gonna head off. Take care. If you secured wins, don't overtrade. Don't give those wins back. Do not give those wins back. Right? We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Adios and be safe.